try to make some kind of an agreement with the park to manage it, or the group that you had a meeting with in, can't remember what month, but it was in the fall. They want to organize a club, which I would be a part of, and probably am gonna have to kind of be the catalyst to get it organized. They're all family people and busy schedules and everything. And I know they would, if we could get the club established and incorporated, or whatever procedure they decide to do, would also be open to trying to make an agreement. The main concern is that somehow or another we need to get out from under the control of the three people that you have in charge of it right now. Because I've been here 2 years, I've seen 2 events put on, neither one of which were, as far as the public was concerned, they were successful, but the producers won't ever come back again. I've tried to set up events and people won't even correspond with me about doing an event. So I'm assuming that that means that they don't want to come to Rangeley. And so pretty much, I guess you would say that I'm just kind of going to leave the ball in y'all's court. You all know how to correspond with me. I don't know what Mark Litzelman's motivation is with his antics about trying to represent that I'm past due on paying rent. I really believe it's to make me look bad in the board's eyes. I don't know that, but you know, that's neither here nor there. The only reason I'm even still at the park is because I was hoping to be able to get some things going and we could maybe start getting events, make it beneficial for the town, not for my own gain. Just simply make it something that the town would be proud of again. It used to be, and it could be again if we get the right management on it. I want to thank you for hearing me out, and like I said, I'm going to leave the ball in y'all's court. If you think it's a conversation that can be had, I know Dylan Smuts is willing to get together. The young gal that's the head of the Chamber of Commerce, I know she's on board, plus all the 4-H parents are all on board. So I just wanted to get it on record that one way or another, I think the townspeople of Rangeley, I know all of us that have horses would definitely be interested in trying to build some kind of an agreement that would make it, instead of a big hassle trying to put on an event, something that can be fun. I know the vendors had a horrible time on that last event. I mean, most of them said they didn't even want to go back out there. I know the chamber, last time I talked to her, she wasn't planning on doing it again, but she really didn't know. So I don't know if the chamber's going to try to put on another event out there again. If I can get involved with her, my personal situation has progressed to where I'm freed up to the point where I could do something now. Before I wasn't, but I could now if we could come to some kind of agreement. And like I say, I will be involved with that group of people. I think they still kind of see me as an outsider, even though I was born and raised right here in Rio Blanco County. But that's all I wanted to come here and get that on record saying. And I know that those people that you all had that last meeting with, they're all on board. Just a matter of somebody getting it all organized and put together. And you have no questions for me, I'll leave it with you and I'll let you get on to important business.
Thank you. We appreciate your comments.
Thank you all for giving me your time.
Absolutely. We don't have anybody else in the room. Anybody online that's for public comment? No? Perfect, thank you. This is a tentative agenda which includes all information available as of January 9th, 2026. The final tentative agenda will be posted at the RBC Historic Courthouse, 555 Main Street, Meeker, Colorado, and at the Rangeley Town Hall, 209 East Main Street, Rangeley. I would entertain a motion for line item D.
Madam Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the agenda January 13th, 2026 with no changes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Richfield. Aye. Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item 2, consent items, line item A.
Madam Chair, I would move to approve the consent agenda, which includes the payroll management report for December 19th of 25, payroll management report for January 2nd of 26, accounts payable management reports for December 25, meeting minutes for December 9th of 25, budget special meeting minutes for December 9th of 26, special meeting minutes for December 19th of 25, motor vehicle DMV report for December 25, and finally the DHS EBT register and warrant register for December 25.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Will you please call the roll, Sean?
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield. Aye. Overton.
Aye.
Line item passes. Moving on to line item 3, business. Line item A.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve the 2026 USDA APHIS Wildlife Service contract.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any conversation? We had a work session with Justin Ewing, who heads that program. He had his supporters of ranchers here with him that they also support the program. Anything else additionally to that? Pretty good discussion this morning.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good discussion, and unfortunately, I think we're going to need him more and more. So that's certainly supported.
Anything else? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Aaron.
Aye.
Richfield. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item B, which, can you do that one? Or do you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it. Madam Chairman, I move to appoint the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County. Well, let's see, I'm going to redo that. Let me start over. Madam Chairman, I move to appoint Kelly Scritchfield as the chairman of the Rio Blanco County Commissioners Board to take effect immediately after this meeting.
I second. So I have a motion and a second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Scritchfield. I think I abstain. Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item C.
So, Madam Chair, I would move the appointment of Jennifer O'Haron as Chairman Pro Tem of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County for 2026.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Will you please call the roll, Sean?
Richfield. Aye. Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Okay. Moving on to line item D. I move to approve The appointment of a representative being Doug Overton and the alternate being Kelly Scritchfield to the AG&C Board for 2026.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Will you please call the roll, Sean?
O'Hare,
Aye.
Richfield,
We both abstain. Abstain, I guess.
okay. And then Overton.
Can you do that?
No, if you abstain, then it doesn't pass.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, we have kept two.
I was wondering how that was gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said aye.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
motion passes. Moving on to line item E. You'll have to do this one, or I'll have to do it.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Madam Chair, I move to appoint Doug Overton to serve as the County Investment Committee member for 2026.
A second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Richfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to, you want me to do this one?
Okay.
Okay, do you want to just do the next one? The
Yeah.
couple, okay.
So, Madam Chair, I would move the appointment of Commissioner Doug Overton to serve as the 2026 Board Representative to the Northwest Transportation Planning Commission.
And I second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Richfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Okay.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item G.
Madam Chair, I would move the appointment of Commissioner Doug Overton to the E911 Board to represent Meeker for 2026.
I second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
O'Hare.
Aye.
Richfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Abstain.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item H.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to appoint Jennifer O'Hare to the E911 Board to represent Rangeley for the 2026 appointment.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Abstain.
Richfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item I.
We have you guys talk up a little bit when you're doing the roll call. I'm having a really hard time hearing you back there. Thank you.
Thanks. Let's see, what are we doing? Aye.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I would move to ratify the appointment of Rose F. Puglisi, Esquire of the Law Office of Rose F. Puglisi, LLC, as the General Rio Blanco County Attorney for 2026 pursuant to 30-11-118.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? No? No. Okay,
We're good.
Sean, will you please call the roll?
Richfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item J.
Madam Chairman, I move to appoint the ratification of an appointment of the BTR Law LLC as the Department of Human Services Rio Blanco County Attorney for 2026 pursuant to 30-11-118.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? No. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Richfield.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item K.
Madam Chair, I would move the appointment of Carmen McKay as the Rio Blanco County Department of Human Services Director for 2026 pursuant to State Statute 26-1-117 one.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? We appointed Carmen 3 years ago, Vicky.
Oh, I think it's been longer than that. It's been a long.
No, been 3 years,
three?
maybe a little under 3 years. But I just want to, I guess, make a comment that Carmen has been doing a fabulous job keeping up with all the chaos that's going on at the federal and state level. She's been taking more of a leadership role, doing committees, inserting herself so that Rio Blanco is heard as a rural county across the state. And I just want everybody to know that she is doing an amazing job. So
And we appreciate that very much.
Sean, will you please call the roll?
Litchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item L.
Madam Chair, I would move the appointment of Commissioner Doug Overton to the EMS Council for 2026.
I second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Abstain.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item M.
Madam Chairman, make a motion for the appointment, of the Board of County Commissioners to sit as the Rio Blanco County Board of Social Services for 2026 pursuant to 26-1-116-1.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item N.
Madam Chair, I would move the appointment of the Board of County Commissioners to sit as the Rio Blanco County Board of Equalization for 2026 pursuant to State Statute 39-8-101.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? And none. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item O.
Madam Chairman, I move for the appointment of the Board of County Commissioners to sit as the Rio Blanco County Board of Public Health for 2026.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item P.
Madam Chair, I move the appointment of Commissioner Doug Overton to the Rangeley Development Agency, Rangeley Development Corporation for 2026.
I second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Abstain.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item Q.
Madam Chair, I move the appointment of Doug Overton to the Yampa White Green Basin Roundtable for the 2026 year.
I second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye. Or abstain. Whatever.
We're gonna approve all one of them doing that.
Line item R.
Madam Chairman, I move to set for the setting of the regular meeting days for 2026 board meetings as the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month, with the second Tuesday meeting held at the Rio Blanco County Historic Courthouse, third floor, Commissioners Hearing Room, located at 555 Main Street, Meeker, Colorado. and the fourth Tuesday meeting held at the Rio Blanco County Annex located at 17497 State Highway 64 in Rangeley, Colorado.
And the next page.
Oh my goodness. Special meetings and work sessions will be held as necessary. The designated official posting locations of tentative agenda will be online at the main bulletin board at the clerk and recorder's office in both Meeker and Rangeley. The kiosk located on the west side of Rio Blanco County Historic Courthouse, 555 Main Street, Meeker, Colorado, and at the Rangeley Town Hall, 102 Main Street, Rangeley, Colorado. Tentative agendas will be posted before the regular scheduled meetings. A copy of a tentative agenda will be placed in the Rio Blanco County Herald Times as a practical pursuant to 26-6-4022C.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hare,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item S.
Madam Chairman, I move to appoint Callie Hendrickson Scritchfield to the Rio Blanco County Natural Resources Council.
And I second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
O'Hare,
Aye.
Scritchfield,
Abstain.
Overton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item T.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the an assessor's contract modification with Value West, Inc., extending the contract dates to January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item U.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve the assessor's contract with Digital Map Solutions LLC.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item V.
Madam Chair, I would move the approval of the 2026 Rio Blanco County landfill scope of work and contract with Souder, Miller and Associates.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
O'Hare,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item W.
Ryan, I'm sorry, I'm gonna move to table this until we have contact with the hospital.
I've been in contact with Liz Sellers.
Yeah.
She said some of the changes she'd like to make to the MOU. The contract is more based in line of what services they provide, how often, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She was okay with this ban, and she kind of didn't want to dive into the type of ban and all that kind of stuff. But I understand your position on wanting to see
Yeah,
that MOU.
We don't want to get the cart before the horse
Yeah,
yet.
and that's fine. That's completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, I move to table the purchase of a new bus for Pioneers Medical Center.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on.
if I could just for a second, so we be sure and sometime we need to get that meeting scheduled to get that agreement going. So if we
I
can just
think
make a note of
I
that.
thought they were gonna take the first stab at it.
Is that what it
The
was?
draft.
I couldn't remember what it was. So, okay.
But I will follow up with them. I can
Thank you.
shoot Janae an email.
But I talked to Liz, it kind of seemed like she was waiting on you guys, so we do need to touch base with.
Okay.
For sure.
I'll email you.
I remember the way you do, is that they were supposed to send us any changes, then we would look it over. But
Yeah. I like that.
let's get it clarified.
Communication.
Funny how
Thank
that
you.
works.
Moving on to line item X.
So, Madam Chair, I would move the approval of the Cooperative Forest Road Agreement number 26-RO-1101600-002 between Rio Blanco County and USDA Forest Service, White River National Forest for the cooperative maintenance of certain forest roads in Rio Blanco County pursuant to the provisions of 16 USC 532-538, 23 USC 205, and the regulations issued by the Secretary of Agriculture.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second discussion on this one. John, will you please call the roll?
Richfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
But just real quickly, I just want to make a quick note here because before I forget it. So in talking to Curtis, and Bill has mentioned it to me too, they would really like to start having that quarterly meeting with us again, like we did a couple years ago. So both of them have brought that up to me. So maybe if we can work on getting a work session.
Are you wanting everybody,
I think the ones requesting it, because I know I got feedback from some that said, I don't know what you're wanting from us and why they just didn't see any. You're hearing opposite than what
I
I'm
think
hearing.
it's
So I think the one-
outside of the county agencies so that we can all talk.
so you
Oh.
want the interagency meeting is what you're asking for,
I think,
which basically any agencies in Rio Blanco
Yes.
to get together.
yes.
Okay.
That one. Sorry, I
Okay.
didn't have the right name with it.
Interagency meeting.
Okay, thank you.
And so basically I guess that will be something we'll need to schedule normally that we used to try and set it for like an hour or 2 hours and they ended up being 3 or 4. So I'll just need ideas of what time, how much time you want to give everyone. And then if you want to do it on a regular meeting day, like a Tuesday. Meeting day.
I guess one of the things I would ask is reaching out to those agencies and seeing who wants to participate and really key and how often they think that we should meet. I mean, just because one agency says they want it quarterly, another one may say 6 months. I guess I would want to get a consensus on that.
Good luck with consensus.
And if not, then we just make the decision. Yes.
Well, we can have meetings and they can
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
show up
I think,
or something.
and I'm sorry, but it was before I was commissioner, but I was part of the Conservation District. Part of that is because I think at the time there was also county departments, right? And they was a part of that. Is how come it got long, or was it just agencies?
Well, it was kind of all in one.
Yeah.
And I think that's where some of
Somebody
the,
got,
because even special districts were part of that too.
Right.
And it wasn't just agencies, it was special districts and then some department heads and elected officials. It just, I think, got
too big and
too big. Yes.
I agree.
Well, and so part of that was like the Forest Service
Yeah.
may have something to do with road and bridge. And so those were very good communications because Dave Moreland was right there and Forest Service saying, hey, we need to send over an agreement because can you do this? And then they, so that's kind of what facilitated that. So
We can work on those details, but
yeah,
I've had that multiple requests now.
Road
So
and Bridge has always had a meeting with the Forest Service on a yearly basis at least. And this agreement here is directly
result.
involving Road and Bridge. But there's several projects that we do with them that we maintain a lot of their roads and there's a lot to be discussed between those two entities.
And then if you guys could give me a list of who you're talking about as far as entities, because
Will do.
I thought special districts would be included in that. So I just want clarification on who I need to reach out to schedule
Will do.
for those meetings.
Thank you.
Moving on to line item Y.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve a task order RBC-SGM 005 under the master service agreement dated April 15th, 2025 with SGM Inc. for inspections and load ratings of Rio Blanco County minor bridges.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
When can you, give me a definition on minor bridges?
Not exactly, but smaller in size. The state sends in inspectors every 2 years to inspect all of our big bridges and recommends,
Is that length?
pardon me,
Is it length?
I think it's on the document itself. Yeah, it's the length of it. And so, yeah, all our bigger bridges are,
weight,
It does have an official designation,
and that is,
restriction for a minor and major.
Okay.
Tina could send it over.
I think it's in the,
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I just can't remember it.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
minors are some that they don't inspect
Yeah.
and we need to have some guidance on them also.
Okay,
They are for structures under 20 feet in length. And the contract would be in an amount not to exceed $43,800.
and that would be for just this year's. That's not all the major, minor bridges. That's just the select few that we think might be in the worst shape to get an idea of.
do we know how many bridges that is?
Yeah, it's on that
6
list.
of them. I think there's 6 of them.
All right,
Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton,
aye.
O'Hairn,
Aye.
Litchfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item Z.
Madam Chair, I would move approval of the 2026-27 County Merit System certification, and this is for DHS. Correct? Yeah, we should have that as for DHS on there.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Litchfield.
Aye.
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hairn.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item AA.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve ratification of a letter of support to President Trump supporting Governor Polis and the state Colorado appeal of the major disaster declaration related to the August Lee and Elk fires and subsequent flooding event.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
I would just note that we did our own individual letter. Rather than saying we support their letter because we didn't know what their letter was going to say, but we are supporting the appeal on this, on the or not the fire, but the disaster declaration. And we've had the towns, all of the elected boards, most of the elected boards have signed on it with us.
And surrounding counties.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Will you please call the roll?
O'Hairn,
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Litchfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to resolutions. Line item A.
Madam Chair, I would move the approval of resolution number 2026-01, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, designating certain banks as depositories for Rio Blanco County funds pursuant to state statute 30-10-7081.
We'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hairn.
Aye.
Litchfield.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item B.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve a resolution number 2026-02, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, designating the Rio Blanco Herald Times as the official newspaper for county publication pursuant to 24-70-108.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Litchfield.
Aye.
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hairn.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to line item C.
Madam Chair, I move the approval of resolution number 2026-03, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, establishing county administration office hours for 2026 as Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 p.m., excluding holidays, and the clerk and recorder who shall be open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, pursuant state statute 30-10-109. However, the clerk of court and the sheriff's office shall be subject at all times to the command of the people, and each thereof shall at all hours, night and day, be prepared to attend such duties as may be reasonably required of them.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Sean, will you please call the roll?
O'Hairn.
Aye.
Litchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to line item D.
Madam Chairman, make a motion to approve the resolution 2026-04, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Rio Blanco County, Colorado, supporting the American 250 Colorado 150 Commission.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Anything on this one? Sean, will you please call the roll?
Overton,
Aye.
O'Hairn.
Aye.
Litchfield.
Motion passes. We do not have any public hearings. We will move on to other business and start with line item A, road and bridge update. Welcome, Clint.
Thank you. I brought my own ad for Steve today.
Oh, thank you. Good job. Because those are not comfortable.
I know. So quickly I'll move through and, if you have questions, just holler. Bit of snow plowing both in Meeker and Rangeley. Minor snowstorms that we've had. Meeker here, we've had couple of our, road and bridge employees been helping Antina with some electronic retention of old files. They're trying to digitize them. We've had everybody out on their blade routes. When the weather is as good as it's been, we've been able to keep working on blade roads. CDL training, we got 3 new people trained and got their CDL licenses or upgrades to what we needed of them.
Are we still doing our own in-house trainings with the CDL program?
Yes.
Okay.
Crystal and James are both involved in the training, and they're doing good. Everybody's passing.
Perfect.
So that's the important part. replaced a few culverts. County Road 47 and 12. And then they had to put in another culvert at the old landfill where they changed the road. I don't know if you knew that, but they had to build a new road into the landfill. Doing some graveling, spot graveling, County Road 47 and 12. And continuing with flood cleanup on County Road 5, cleaning culverts. And bridges, some of those smaller dock passes, as we call them. They mowed the roadside on County Road 5. Replacing cutting edges and blades on all the snowplow on the motor graders and snowplows. Repaired some potholes out on County Road 5, 26 and 24. And some flood cleanup on County Road 33. And then, as I referred to, the new road that they built into the old landfill. Then for the Rangeley District, continuing to move gravel from pit run from Johnson Draw pit to the West Johnson Draw pit. They had a bit of snow plowing. Blading roads 27, 116, 122, and 131. And they've been cleaning up some bridge abutments and what have you, debrushing, cutting brush and what have you around the bridges, get them, everything cleaned up good. And they have done some shoulder mowing, County Road 2, and just general road checks.
Shoulder mowing in January.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
Scary.
And a lot of this work normally couldn't be done in January.
No,
So normally just busy with plowing.
plowing day and night, right? Yeah.
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Just get it to snow.
Really,
Do the snow dance. Come on, Clint.
I wish I could. But it's next summer may not be very free.
No. Agreed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I apologize. Anyone that sees me up and down and running out, we're trying to get our appeal letters done and executed and sent out as soon as possible. So I've been on the phone back and forth, so I apologize. But
Here you are.
here I am.
You are running.
Am I next on the list?
You are.
Okay.
So see how good you are with that timing?
Perfect timing. So what I'm gonna do is Doug Huff is on the phone. He has an update for the commissioners on what he's been working on. Doug, I hope you're there. I need to text you probably. If you don't answer me, I'll text you real quick. I told him, I said, Doug, I'll text you. I actually was gonna try and get him on.
Yeah, I'm here.
He was on. I say
Oh,
he
there
was
you go.
on early, so yeah.
Sorry, Doug. I'm so sorry for the long time period. This letter has been kicking my tushy, so
Yep, that's
We're
okay. I'm ready whenever you are.
we are ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll make it brief. I have a few updates. One just went out this morning. It's not a Rio Blanco County issue, but just for anyone that is traveling in the I-70 corridor, it has been shut down for multiple hours for a officer-involved shooting and still looking for the suspect. So anyone traveling, be wary of that today. We had the tanker rollover on January 5th that caused a lot of great concern. It's the second rollover that we've had kind of this winter. And it is under the jurisdiction of Colorado State Patrol, as it was a state highway. And they will take the responsibility for the what we call the DERA, the Designated Emergency Response Authority, for ensuring that those involved are responsible for the entire cleanup and transportation of the hazardous materials that was spilled, which was a little over 200 barrels of oil. And also recover any costs that were associated to it. We were in contact with law enforcement and CSP that afternoon to see if they needed any resources. At that point, they did not need any resources from us. And so we're still monitoring anything that they may need assistance with. Other things is that took a long time to get our Elk Fire and Lee Fire reimbursements done, just due to we wanted to be able to try and track everything that we were possibly used on that particular fire, knowing that we did not currently receive the disaster resistance from the president. And so we're just being really diligent in trying to add a lot of things to our existing cooperators resource rate form. We call it the SURF. And a lot of the data of personnel hours and benefit hours and all that. But we finally got it all submitted. Elk Fire, we submitted a invoice for $52,486.32. The Lee Fire, $67,044.42, equaling two invoices of $117,530.74. This does not mean that that is guaranteed that we will get it. It'll go under the review of DFPC, Colorado Division of Fire Prevention and Control. And so sometimes it goes back and forth a little bit for clarifications, but we wanted to be able to try and submit everything that was utilized on the fire to try and get some recovery efforts on that. Other things that happened in December is we had two different QB Energy emergency response plans that I needed to review. One was for an exemption of a change in a new drilling site, and one was an additional drilling site. And then one from Anschutz. I'm not sure I'll ever get that name right, but they are doing an expansion on a pad, and they also needed a emergency response plan. So that has been some of the work that has happened in December for emergency management, as well as the review of the latest document of the HMP, which was, fairly brief. And then we're trying to schedule the second round two for them to come out and complete our HMP. And that is all I have for an update. If you have any questions.
Doug, the oil on that tanker, was that crude oil?
I believe so. It was a placard just as oil, but I believe it was crude.
Anything
Thank
else? Thank you, Doug.
Thank you for doing that. And so commissioners, as you recall, what we're going to do is a monthly update from Doug. And I'll try to schedule him better so that he's not waiting around. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Doug. I'm with this letter. I totally just was like juggling cats, I think is better than hurting them. But anyways, very helpful and we are getting close on, not getting close. We have a lot of emergency manager interviews. We ended up with a total of 24 applicants for the job. So we're doing some initial screening out interviews, and then we will hopefully get down to a pile of about 5, I'm hoping. And then we'll call you in and we'll do have you be a part of that panel. I think would be very beneficial to see where we're at and add those questions of what you think, we might need to ask during this.
And those don't close until Friday, right?
It does not.
So we'll get more probably.
So we could end up with some more. So it's been a very big response, which I was very surprised with, but there you go. So we'll see how that goes.
That is great that you had such good turnout. What was the total number of applicants you got? I couldn't hear it.
So far, 24.
Wow.
But now there were a lot of those that we were able to cross off because of absolutely no emergency experience, fire experience. It was just,
But not a lot. I mean, half of them at least are very qualified.
Yeah.
That is very promising. I'm very glad to hear that.
very promising, because, yeah,
I wonder if our fire made the news and everybody knows about us and that's why everybody's applying.
Yeah.
well, and I'm sure that Eagle County's in the same boat as what Rio Blanco is, but, I was looking, at our water storage, or EWP, basically, it's a email that comes out that says, what's your snowpack and that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
We are so low, but it actually said our county or our district, the area that we're in, was very similar to 2022, 2023, the winter of 2022 and 2023.
It was pretty wicked there for
But
1 year, but
what they said is
came
that it
in.
was late spring snow that actually ended up pulling us out of
all we
the
can do is hope.
gutter. So, yeah, hope and pray. We're praying. So,
Here for snow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
Commissioners, other than that, for mine, it's been a rush to try and get, these letters and authorized electronic signatures to send out, and just to kind of let you know how that process looked. So what we were told is that the letter that they sent, we don't know what Governor Polis's letter looks like yet. They haven't prepared it. So the commissioners prepared their own letter that you guys authorized. We then sent that out. They wanted us, DHFDM wanted us to reach out to the other electeds in the areas, the chambers, fire districts, hospitals, the towns, anybody that we could think of to bolster our support. They wanted that by an electronic signature attached onto our letter. Now, a lot of those entities have chosen to also write their own letters of support. And the conversation I had with Danielle was those basically will be sent to President Trump separately. So you may have some people that sign up on our electronic letter and others that wanted to add their own special touches. Those will go separately, in a separate packet. So our letter will be from my understanding, our letter, WREA's letter, will be attached to Governor Polis's letter that will go to President Trump.
And Vicki, I just forwarded you the letter from Grand County.
Perfect.
They did a letter as well.
Okay. So there's that. And then, and I apologize because Commissioner O'Hara, I must not have gotten to you in this round robin type thing, but I'm going to really try to take Fridays off, and Friday and Saturday, and not work as much, because even with working the 4 days, I've usually been hitting about 40 to 45 hours. And then yet on Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, I'm actually going to truly go by and try to do that as a day of rest and just focus on going to church, doing my Bible studies, things like that. So I did really well this past weekend. I didn't look at my emails until Sunday. And then I saw Kelly's.
She's blaming it on me, just for the record.
I forgot to submit my report to you all. And that's what I gave the mouse a cookie and wanted a bedtime story. And I just ended up going through all my notes. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure my report is to you on Friday.
Turn off your notifications on the weekend.
Right. But I'm always available. If you need me, please call me. Chrissy, and anyone else that needs me, you have my cell phone, please give me a call. I'm just trying to kind of balance it out a little bit more. And I really think that will happen when we can get, we have that emergency management piece slid off right now. Some of that, we've got EWP slid off to Liz right now for recovery manager, working on the budget and finance piece. So there's a lot of those moving pieces now that I feel like I'm seeing some breathing room. So
I need for you. Healthy.
yeah, yes. So, yeah, that's basically it for my report.
Did you have a question for us on the DHS county attorney? Because, yeah.
Oh, so what the question is, so I was going to go ahead and post that, and then I got sidetracked. But my question to you three would be, we have currently an employment, a contract for 90 days. Do you want to see how that goes? Because you don't have to go out to bid if you decide you just want to stick with this attorney if he's willing to do it. Now, if he's not willing to do it, do you go ahead and advertise now and then cut that contract short if you decide to hire someone. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because you don't have to go out to bid again since you did already go through that process.
Can I make a suggestion that we go 30 days and then revisit it? That gives us 60 days to put out and that makes sense.
So we're already a couple of weeks into it with the current contract, so that would be we would have to do a quick turnaround for that within that 60 days, by the time we interview and then get a contract put together. So, I mean, we can.
Well, I'm just brainstorming that it'd be nice to have some history. We don't know anything about what's going on unless you're more
I
into
don't
this
know.
than I am. Where you at?
And if you want to send it out to today, as soon as I get this letter out,
We can give it the 30
We can do
days
that.
and just kind of let it play out, but I'm gonna be pretty hardcore on that 30th day. What are we doing? So what I'll do is I'll set up a meeting with Carmen and Kelsey just to see how
Get
things are going. So probably by next week I will, even though, because next week will be the third week, we're into it
Mhm.
already.
Right.
And actually, if I have time today, I may go watch him in court because we have court today. So,
yeah.
not that I want to hear a lot. It'll be more to observe him. But yeah, so I'll just, let me get with them next week, see how things are going. And then by the next week, if they're still good, then I just don't know where he's at either.
Yeah.
I say we probably need to ask that question, if he's at all interested in long-term. And if he's, I mean, I don't know the situation.
Another suggestion would be to just extend it to another 90 days. And then do something,
Extend what?
this contract.
If
Well,
we have
and
to.
if he's willing to do that or not,
Right.
and depending on how well that's getting handled.
Because he's the one that wrote the contract, so he's the one that wrote it for the 90 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely some follow-up, and I'll do that next week with the girls and him even.
I guess my question was more the procurement aspect of it, just reminding you that under procurement, you had sent that out to bid. You would open the bids. You weren't happy with those, so you basically are, from what Dawn had said, you were, outside you're good to do what you want from that point. So,
Right.
okay, perfect. So I will watch for that. Thank you.
Mhm. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Alrighty, so do we have any updates from Rose that you're aware of, Vicky?
No, not that I know of. I did have a good
Tim.
conversation with her, been sending her documents. And then she's been responding on a lot of Quora requests, which is kind of nice, right? And then so basically the process is someone does a Quora form on our website. It comes to us, Chrissy, myself, and Lynn. Lynn is in charge of that. Lynn sends it to whoever's available. Make sure Rose has that. Then we send it to the department that needs to gather the information, and then Rose communicates with them, gets pulled together, sends us back a copy, and sends the letter out. So
It's,
another big thing that's off my plate.
well, and it sounds like, I mean, she's met with a lot of the department heads and got things moving and rolling, and
I know she plans on being here next Tuesday. So her plan is to be here all day Tuesday and come and meet with staff. And meet with us if we need it, but I know she plans on coming over all day Tuesday.
it's
Tim, did you have anything? Welcome to the team. I don't think we've been formally introduced.
Oh.
You're on mute. Oh, he's looking for it.
I have Tim twice. Both unmute.
Oh, don't you love the electronic?
Okay.
No,
Does this one work? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I need to shut off my phone, I think. Anyway, no, I'm just as a colleague of Rose's, happy to help her cover and step in as she needs, since she's a busy young woman. And so I think between the two of us, we'll be able to cover Rio Blanco pretty well. But she's going to be up there next Tuesday, as you were told.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for being on.
I can't hear you for some reason on my computer, so I had called in. And now,
You're good.
You
Somebody
give him a
dial
thumbs
back.
up.
There you go. You're good.
Okay. Moving on to county commissioner updates.
I'll start. I attended a lot of the 77 bridge updates, trying to get that, help them get that moving along and that project. It's going to be a really nice addition when we get that done, and it's a really beneficial for Rio Blanco County. Appreciate what Anschutz is doing. I've attended the Wolf Coalition meetings and participated in all that. That's going really well. Recovery meetings, that's going pretty good. Liz is doing what is her name?
Yeah, Liz.
Liz.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
Not Lynn, it's Liz.
Yeah, Liz.
Okay, Liz is doing a really good job there. And then just the admin and department head meetings. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Do you want me to go next?
Sure.
DHS. That's
I
on.
knew that's what you were gonna do.
Just tons of meetings for DHS, trying to stay on top of this federal state stuff. Where they are wanting to district us, as well as do some shared services. Actually talked to a commissioner on my way here this morning, and their county attorney seems to think that it's illegal to do districting, or not legal to do districting. So I'm going to get with Rose and find out what that's about. Let's see, attended some CHSDA, which is human services stuff. Attended NACO's Rural Action Caucus. Attended some work sessions, attorney interviews. CCI had they have been doing a steering committee meeting, policy meeting, where they're bringing in different entities that are going over potential legislation, which is something different that we've not done in the past, which has been kind of nice to hear. Potentially, I mean, not that any bills are out there at this point, but that this is the talk on the street. Directors, I've been attending the director meetings. We had a BOCC meeting, met with a constituent, met with Rose a couple of times, more around the DHS human services stuff. She sits on the working committee, the county attorney working committee for this human services stuff. Met with Town of Rangeley. We've done a EM interview. Yesterday had the Colorado Child Abuse Prevention Trust Fund meeting board that I sit on. And then I finally got the Deserato Mine Bonanza Power Plant coordinated. You guys got an email this morning from Dean Sellers. We're doing it March 16th. All the information, the agenda is in that email. Dean Sellers is the person that sent us the information. He needs some personal information, and he puts it out. You didn't get it? Okay, I will forward it to you. I will. Yeah, it says good morning, Rio Blanco commissioners, but then I'm the only one on here. So I will forward this. So yeah, they just need a couple of personal information from each of us. So he says just respond to him and Chelsea. So I'll make sure Chelsea's on the email for you guys as well, so you can respond to that. And it's got the agenda as well as the map of where we're touring and where we're going. So glad to get that off my plate.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
it's
be
going to
cool.
be fun. I'm excited. They're even going to provide lunch for us. It's an all-day event, so
We
plan
can
on
ride
be
the
there.
train over to.
Doug, every time I turned around, I was asking for more and more. And I was like, I am so sorry. I have another question. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have another question. That's why.
Next, Doug's gonna wanna be the engineer on the
Yeah.
train.
Can I drive it?
I don't know, Doug, but you can certainly ask Dean that question. So anyway, those are my really quick down and dirty updates.
All right. It seems like a long time since we've had a commissioner meeting. So in the meantime, I was out of state for a while, but still attending all of the meetings and so forth virtually. So what legislative says starts tomorrow. So yes, lots of calls and conversations about the bills that are going to be coming up. One of them in particular that I've had a little concern over, the Outdoor Recreation Opportunity Act, which is basically going to allow, and we've seen the draft of the bill, several versions, making it so CPW has more, well, they actually will add staff to focus on recreation. And long story short, I think it just codifies what they're already doing through these regional partnership initiatives and kind of ties it in as we change administrations. So I haven't been real thrilled about it, really pushed back on it with Representative Lukens and DNR. But now they have done a lot of edits to it, I'm sure through, they met with CCI, they've met with all the ag organizations and so forth. They have really put in there a very strong ag piece. Like I think it's mentioned 7 times, ag. So, because that was one of our big concerns, it was pushing all the ag stuff or involvement out. And so they heard that loud and clear and they got that in there. At CCI, what they talked about was right now the language just says local governments, I think is how, or local communities is what they say. And at CCI, I think they heard loud and clear that we wanted counties named specifically to be partners in all of that. So anyway, that's one I probably spent more time than I needed to on, but it just, they're wanting to add, however many staff, nobody will give us the number of staff, but they want them out throughout the state, just like the CPW, our wildlife guys are. They want recreation people out in the communities like that too. So we're talking a lot of staff. And I literally asked the question, how can you be spending money on that kind of thing when we're talking about the issues that we are through DHS? They assured me that they're not using general fund dollars. It's all through CPW. And where's it coming from? So anyway, wolves. And we did get that letter out that was stating, I think that we haven't had a meeting since we talked about this. The letter that we went to CPW. Maybe we did have a commissioner meeting since then and we talked about it. But anyway, we did get a response after we had asked for them to get much quicker action. When there is the next depredation, we want them to deal with this wolf ASAP instead of putting it off. We got a response that they would basically continue as they are doing. And so just along with Doug trying to track and understand what all is going on with wolves, because there is a lot between the state and the feds. Then I did, and the bison issue, I just touched base with Travis and they said there's not any activity at this point from them. They are not in a hurry to fast track that. From here on the western slope, they're not in a hurry anyway, so we'll see how that goes. And appreciate that. The other thing that I think we'll work on right now is, and thanks to Deb Moreland for sending us those Daily Sentinel articles, and that article where the environmental groups are bashing BLM and the president for the last sale or lease sale, I guess is what it's called. And we'll work with, I talked to Chelsea and we'll talk with AGNC. Doug's working with them. I think we should do a rebuttal letter because that is not at all accurate information that they're putting out there. Just as a quick little note, under the Biden administration, he did 2 sales that raised $1,500,000 in revenues in 4 years. And President Trump's administration has done 2 sales in his 1 year and has raised $11.5 million. And just for the record, our government, our state government Colorado has received $91 million this year from this. And so that is, what we decide, Vicky, that's that mineral lease money that is, so 50% of it goes to the feds, 50% goes to the state, and then the state is divided 50% to the state and then 50% back to the communities or the local communities through that, but based on where the employees live. So we don't get a lot.
Yeah, so that's that breakout that does the percentage of.
But still, $91 million.
And that's the one that the state sweeps and takes away from us anyway.
No, that's severance tax.
Okay.
Severance they can sweep for their general fund. But federal mineral lease is broke, that 50% of the 50% gets split out by a funding mechanism that counts the number of workers and the people that actually live in Rio Blanco that work at the plants in that area.
So that's 23 million that's come into this state from this. That's actually the state's portion. And yet they complain about oil and gas. Just saying. Okay, that's enough. For me.
I could go on, but not.
So again, thanks to Deb for sending us that article.
You're good?
No, but I'm done.
Okay, no, you're not good, but you're done. Perfect. Okay, so we will not adjourn at this time. We're going to take a recess because we still have one more item on. We'll start at 1 o'clock today. So we will adjourn at 12:19 and be back in here at 1 o'clock.
To go into executive session.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all.
strategy for negotiations and instructing negotiators related to professional services contracts with Edie Bailey and Lisa Herman, Redlands Accounting, PC. And pursuant to 24-6-4024 FCRS for discussion of personnel matters regarding interviews for the emergency manager position.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Will you please call the roll?
Litchfield.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
O'Hare.
Aye. Motion passes and we will go into executive and come back out when we're done.